Well, joining us now, Saadia Zahidi, the Managing Director of the World Economic Forum. Thanks very much, Saadia, for being with us. How does the report express concerns over a persistent cost of living crisis? It's one of the points that you've raised. What are some of the most glaring examples of this?
Thank you. I think maybe just adding a bit to what you were saying in terms of the outlook, only about 15% of people currently have a positive outlook or an optimistic outlook, and that shrinks to about 8% when it comes to 10 years out. So I think overall, the very few optimists become even smaller over the course of the next decade. Now, in terms of cost of living crisis, it used to be the number one risk last year. It is now down to number 4 when it comes to this present year. But I think what we can't forget is that inflation is still number 7 in the 2-year outlook. There's still fears of an economic downturn. That's number 9. And there continues to be a sense that there's very little economic opportunity for many people, and they're sort of stalled when it comes to social mobility. So all of that together is showing up, and of course that looks different in different parts of the world. In much of Africa, there's deep concerns around an economic downturn. Similarly, for example, in the United States, India is very different. It's a bright spot. That's one of the few places where you're expecting more than 6% growth. So it really depends on where you are in the world. But we do also look, what does that mean for the 10-year time frame? Could we be looking at a bifurcation between mostly the global south having living standards that become stalled or stuck where they are, and the global north being also where it is, but that inequality stays and we don't see the convergence that we were predicting previously? So that's one of the longer term risks that we're seeing when it comes to living standards in the economy.